So, hello everyone. The day that I'm recording this, it is Sunday, June 23rd, at about 6 p.m. So, I know that I haven't been uploading videos as of late. No matter when I put this video up, whether it's still June or not, happy happy Rainbow Pride Month, happy lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, asexual, questioning, queer, two-souled and plus, everybody month. And I'm sorry that I haven't been able to go any further on the videos that I was doing. This seems to be a running theme and occurrence in my life. And so this brings me to the next thing of, will I finish? Will I finish? So that's the thing. And I figure I should probably stop for a minute here before I show any of the other videos that I had managed to record. So I'll be showing, even though I'm filming this video, I want to say last or nearly last. I'm going to be showing this video first. So will I finish? I promise you that I am going to finish this painting and this painting probably alone for this year. So at least I will have 2 paintings under my belt completely finished. These were a bit complicated, and it was really throwing myself into the deep end when I hadn't done art in years, and I hadn't thought about art in years. So this was not the best way to start anything. So, but, this month came up, and being a lesbian, being asexual, being part of the rainbow crowd, I had to do it. I wasn't about to not do it. And being, so basically a sociologist in my soul, I couldn't not do it. I couldn't not do it. So, what does that mean? It means I am going to finish this, even if it's outside this month. And what does that mean for the rest of my channel? After this month, I don't know. So I guess I should just get into it. And I'm going to go ahead and clear away a few things here and just sit down and talk. And hopefully you'll still be able to hear me underneath the camera, because the camera is up quite high so that you could be able to, let me just get this. So this is almost perfect height for me speaking as close to the camera as possible. So hopefully you can actually hear me better now than you could before. So yeah. So I guess the question is why did I stop my videos? Well, believe it or not, it was for very happy reasons for once, very good reasons instead of negative reasons. And it was literally because, my mom being elderly and a hoarder, and I'm very proud of her for this. She ended up cleaning up a huge chunk of the living room. You could argue about half of it. You could argue about a fourth of it, depending upon how you want to divide the living room up. But she cleaned up a great big chunk of the living room because she decided to get a new easy chair. And she ended up putting off actually having the easy chair delivered for about 2 weeks because of this. But on her own, by herself, without any help, and she was very adamant about that because I was willing to help her, she wanted to clean up, and she did, and I'm very, very proud of her for that. But being elderly, well, it wasn't even that. She's always needed help. So I did eventually end up, of course, having to help her. And I did help her, and that ended up costing me dearly physically. And so I ended up having to rest. And I only meant to rest for a few days, but then I don't know what happened, but my body ended up just becoming worn out. It decided that it wasn't going to work again. Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry about not being on camera here. My body decided that it was worn out and that it was just going to sleep all the time. And it was just not going to work again. And if you've ever been chronically ill, you might understand that. Now, I don't know why this happened. I don't know if it's because of the kidney disease and the dehydration that I have. Um, I don't know if it's because of the triple digit summer temperatures that we're having down here. I do live in the Texas area. I will say that much. So, and we are definitely having triple digit temperatures, and which we have every summer. It's no big deal. We have that every summer. There's a reason why you have air conditioning, because temperatures here always hit 125 degrees. They always do. No human body likes or can put up with even 100 degrees. I mean, I may be chronically ill, but I found out that my body cannot take temperatures at 86 degrees or higher. Now, I have gotten better here as of late, and I am so glad for that. So now I am able to take temperatures of, about 90, 95 degrees for almost an hour, I think, before I absolutely have to go inside, and it's no longer a question. It's like, I got to get in now. But having said that, I've heard that up north, when it gets really, really cold out, and so anyone that doesn't understand this, when it gets really, really cold out, up north, you go indoors and you stay indoors during the whole season. Well, that's what happens down south during the summer. When it gets hot out, you go indoors and you stay indoors all summer because it's just too hot out to do anything. In fact, if you're going to do anything, the only time you're going to do it is in the middle of the night, or late at night, and that is why neighborhoods will suddenly come alive in the evening. I mean, some people will be really nuts and they'll be so eager to get out of their house, they'll actually start coming out on their front porches and whatnot at 5 p.m. and at 6 p.m. when it's still, in the triple digits outside. And when it gets really hot during really, what was it? In 2010 through 2015, it got so hot that the temperatures were not dropping. Usually the temperatures would drop to about 95 and down even into almost 70 during the night. Well, from about 2010 to basically from about 2009 on, 2009 to at least 2015, 2016, it got to the point down here where temperatures were not dropping during the night. They would usually drop to at least 80, 85 degrees. And instead, they ended up staying. And they would reach about 140 degrees during the day, for real. I'm not exaggerating. It would get to about 135, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And then during the night, it would drop to 110, 115, if we were lucky. And it was so dry down here. It was absolutely awful. Absolutely atrocious. It was just not livable, period. And so, yeah, so I don't know if it's these hot temperatures that are just making me so sleepy. I don't know if it's something. I suspect that it's something in the house, that there's some sort of carbon monoxide leak or something. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of carbon monoxide leaks when it comes to air conditioning, but that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, unless mold, which this house does have quite an abundance of, unless mold can make you sleepy, I don't have any clue why I've suddenly gotten so sleepy and I can just not get myself to wake up and do anything. And I will say, I have gotten dehydrated here. I am fighting the dehydration. And I've never encountered dehydration making me sleepy before. Usually, dehydration stops you from being able to sleep. And when it gets very acute, it completely stops you from being able to sleep. You cannot get to sleep, and you end up going a little bit nuts from the lack of sleep, um, because you lay down at night to go to sleep, and it doesn't work. It just flat out doesn't work, and you end up so, I don't know how else to put it, so wired and jittery. It's like you've had coffee even though you've never been near coffee. So that, I do want to say that to everyone. Do not drink coffee. Do not drink tea. Kidney disease is skyrocketing across the world, and it is because of energy drinks. It is because of coffee consuming, and it is because of, literally, it's safer to have cocaine than it is to have coffee, because coffee and tea liquidates your kidneys. I found this out from a urologist, and actually I found this one out from a nephrologist that I went and saw. I'm not going to get into it. I ended up going and seeing several urologists and nephrologists, and they were, let me just say, from my own personal experience, I'm not impressed with doctors. They do not help, and they do not know anything. But out of all of the quackery, and literally that's all I've run into in the line of this, being so terribly sick, I found out that, you know, one of them actually gave me some good advice. He was actually worthwhile, although he still couldn't do any good by me. You know, he said, never drink tea, never drink coffee. It really does, it essentially liquefies your kidneys. It completely ruins them. You know, and he even had it on his questionnaire. And I was shocked about that, because I was like, you know, at the time, let's just say I was a little bit against rattle shaking shaman and holistic medicine. And I wasn't impressed with him. And I asked him, you know, this sounds a little holistic. He reassured me that it's not, you know. And just like the doctor that, when my dad was having heart attacks when he was younger, advised him against having all of these tropical oils and actually saved him from having heart attacks. And this was, you know, up north in Minnesota, you know, my God, that was in the 1980s, early 1980s, when that was going on with him. He was a very young guy. They couldn't figure out what was going on, and he was actually saved. My mom was like, you know, you need to take what that doctor, that kidney doctor, says to heart, and you need to try it. And by golly, she was right. And I've gone more holistic. I've actually gone into holistic medicine, and it has helped me and saved my life as of thus far. The doctors didn't have any answers. You know, the traditional Western doctors didn't have any answers for me. And more I'm running into people who are finding out that Western medicine is nothing but, you know, grifters and killers, flat out. And holistic is really the way to go. But you never want to get to my point where you're already sick. That's the problem. If you're already sick, Western medicine has no cures for you, you know, and actually no one does. So anyway, that's my little soapbox. I'll get off it now. Sorry about that. Anyway, back to the main point. I'm sick. I don't know why I stopped doing art. I don't know why I stopped recording. I'm sorry about that. I will try to get back on the ball here, because this is very important to me, and it is important that I finish this. I will say this, it is seeming like something is spiritually fighting against me, and it really especially did not like me fighting for human rights and fighting for people's rights, which is what I was doing, and fighting for my own personal rights, which is what I was doing, and doing, you know, the Rainbow Pride, you know, the Rainbow Month Club thing, you know. I don't know why that term came to my head, but literally, I'm I believe in fighting for people's rights. I believe in fighting for human rights. I believe in fighting for equality. And that's exactly what I was doing for the month of June here. And I will continue to do that. I'm just going to have to do it in a totally different way and on my time. So, yeah. So what does this mean moving forward? I am going to still do my darndest to film at least 15 videos a month and have them uploaded. Actually get the art done, no matter how crappily I do it, that I have hanging over my head. Because at this point in my life, I have nothing else to do with my time except to do what I want to do and get done what I want to get done. And I am grateful for that. And I am proud of that. But being chronically ill steals from you financially. It steals from you physically. It steals from you emotionally. And it can steal from you mentally too. So, which is obviously not fun. And so I'm going to have to figure out how to do these videos from bed, quite literally. I almost want to say, is it possible to do these videos from bed? I'm positive it is. I'm positive it is. It's just a question of editing. And I'm thinking that more than likely, I'm going to end up doing a lot of shorts. Because for me, it's easier to not record than it is to record. And for me, it's just easier to not upload than to upload. But I want a record of what since I'm not going to be able to keep the artwork, since I'm chronically ill and and I will say this about Western doctors. Holistic doctors are better. They don't put you into bankruptcy. Western doctors will make you sicker. They will not heal you or make you better or cure you of whatever disease you have. And Western doctors will insult you to your face, which I've never had with any of the holistic practitioners that I've gone to. The holistic practitioners will actually give a crap, while Western doctors will not. But holistic doctors, from my personal experience, will not put you into debt. They just will not. While Western doctors will. I know I'm doing a lot of preaching on this, but I don't have any other choice. My health has been bothering me a lot, and it's been angering me a lot. And because I went to Western doctors thinking that they would make me better, and they ended up I'm not going to get into it, but they made me better in certain ways with their medications, which I was grateful for at the time. But those medications made me sick. And the worst part is that I couldn't even get in on the class action lawsuit when there was a class action lawsuit that popped up against the medications that I had been taking. And I also couldn't get in on the class action lawsuit that popped up against, what was it, Zantac and Propulsive, which I was given as a child. And I come to find out that those two things actually caused supposedly kidney disease. And I was given those as a young child. So now it makes me wonder, it really makes me wonder. But there you go. Anyway, moving on. I'm grateful. I'm exceedingly grateful that I'm housed. I'm exceedingly grateful that I'm able to film here like I am. I'm exceedingly grateful that I'm able to get out of bed and do these things. I am angry and I am fighting to stay alive and do this artwork, because this artwork is the only happy thing in my life. Everything else in my life brings me such horrific anger. I don't know how else to describe it other than the way Billy Joel described the passing of his friend Robin Williams. There are no words. There are no words to describe how angry I am. I can't describe it. There's no expression for how angry I am. There's no way to, there's just not at all. And I am rightfully angry because, I went to Western traditional doctors, and I am in the position where, and I've been way worse off than this right now. And personally, for me, it would have been far better if I was not alive because of how tortured I have been in the past. The only thing that has made me better is going off all the medications that the Western doctors had me on, growing my own garden, eating naturally, and not having anything to do with any Western physicians at all. That is the only thing that has helped me. And while I'm still very livid about how I was taken advantage of, and I'm still very livid about how I am in severe medical debt and I have no way of paying off that medical debt, and I'm even, I'm jobless now at this point in my life because of being chronically ill. Technically, I mean, first it was COVID, but now it's more than obvious. I mean, COVID's over and done with. It's because I'm chronically ill. And for whatever reason, while I could get something before COVID, I can't get anything now. And COVID absolutely ruined everything. I will say that. But I'm chronically ill. I'm in debt to Western medicine doctors who did not even do me the courtesy of not verbally slapping me in the face by, calling me a hypochondriac before they looked at my chart. Even a bunch of them, after they would look at my medical chart, they would still call me a hypochondriac and tell me to get counseling instead of making me healthy. And the ones that did care and tried to do something, the medications that made me better in the short term ended up making me exceedingly sick, ruining my liver and ruining my kidneys, which are the two main organs in your body that filter out, poisons of any kind. Ended up making me sick, very sick in the long run. So now I'm left to sit here and piddle around with my paints. But being an artist, all I want to do is just start rage screaming into the void that is the internet here, that is YouTube. Being an artist, I don't know. I was told by several people that I needed to have a hobby, and I was already an artist, and I had all these paintings stacked up. And when you're going through your possessions, whether it's for moving or whether it's for, passing away, what have you, I'm not even going to get into it. You end up finding a lot of stuff, and I ended up finding my art stuff again, which I had packed away, and I was like, there's no point in touching this again. I'm not going to get anywhere near it. And then instead of actually passing away, I have some near-death experiences. So yeah, I'm hoping that through art, I can do what these, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be mean at all, but do what these rattle-shaking shaman, these trippy, dippy, hippie people have been saying, you need to have some happy thing to focus on in all of this. You need to have some, oh dear. Well, I should have blotted that before I... Oops. That I needed to have a hobby or some sort of happiness to focus on. You know, something that would, because meditation wasn't doing it. I can't meditate at all. I will show you all the book that I used that finally allowed me to meditate, but I was not able to meditate, you know? And I have found that from what I've read about meditation, that this art, at least for me, is meditating. So, yeah, I guess maybe I'll have to rename my channel to Angry Hippie. I don't know. It would be nice uh, if I could rename my channel to Angry Hippie. I might do that. You never know. But Astrological Artist, just, because I'm so artsy. And everyone has called me artist, even when I haven't been an artist, haven't been painting, haven't been doing any. I've always been doing some sort of scribbles or something, or buying art supplies. And they're like, oh, you're such an artist, why haven't you produced something yet? And I was like, because I don't have the time. All I had the time to do was to buy stuff, because I would buy stuff, I get set up and ready to do this, that, or the other thing. And then, whether it was a relationship I was in, hey, I want to take you on vacation, or, who knows what was going on at the time, but something would always take me away. Something would always take me away from actually sitting down and doing the art that I had set up for myself to do. So, and that's exactly what happened here again, except instead of it being a bad thing, thankfully it was a good thing. I didn't have a family disaster. I didn't have any kids to look after. It wasn't an emergency. No one was in the hospital, thankfully, and the only thing I had to worry about was my own health this time, kind of oddly flunking out on me and making it so that I'm tired and I'm just not able to get the strength to get up out of bed. So, which oddly enough, in the holistic community, they're saying that, 3 times now I've had 3 people offer that I have something called fibromyalgia, which, from what I recall from the 90s, which is the era that I'm from, fibromyalgia was a way of writing off people who were genuinely sick, and saying, oh, it's all in your head. So I kind of put those people in their place when they suggested that, but I even had a physical therapist just recently, when my shoulder went bad, suggest that. Like, have you ever been diagnosed with fibromyalgia? Because it sounds like that's what you have, especially the full body pain and everything. And I'm just like, no, don't give me that, So anyway, I'm sorry that I talked about doctors. I'm sorry that I talked about, I didn't mean for this to be triggering for anyone or upsetting, especially with art being something that people use for escapism, and which I am trying to use for escapism currently. And clearly it's not working, but my gosh, this olive green. I found out I really hate the color olive green, but it goes really fantastic on paintings. When you're trying to paint background greenery and whatnot, it is more true to the natural green, at least personally, that I've found, that I've seen outside, arguably, depending upon what plant you're. Because if I mix olive green with other things, it's like, oh, that works, So, anyway. So, yeah, this is thankfully almost done. Thank you for coming along on this painting here with me. Sorry that this video is so long and drawn out. Yeah, according to my count, it's at least 34 minutes. So basically, this is probably going to be by like an hour-long video, unless I manage to cut out even maybe 10 minutes. Which I doubt. I don't think I'm even going to be cutting 10 minutes worth of video. So this is basically going to be a 40-minute, 60-minute long video. So I have to admit, since no one watches long videos, especially from nobodies like me, I'm not too worried. YouTube truly has an algorithm, and more often than not, you know, that algorithm is against nobodies, and I am Little Miss Nobody, truly. I wish I wasn't, you know, because I found out that it can really feel good to have people that actually give a crap about you, you know, which is odd, but there you go. One of the most important things in Buddhism is to, you know, not even care about, not have friends and not even care about family members, so that you're not attached to the world. You know, they even say that in Christianity, you know, friends are a lie, family is a lie, you know, let the dead bury their own, you know, come follow me, Jesus said to one of his followers who was, you know, like, hey, let me at least bury my dad first, you know. Jesus was like, let the dead bury their own, you know, you got more important stuff to do here, you know. Don't become attached to human beings or things of this earth, you know. And believe me, if you ever get tortured from illness like I have been, you'll see the value in those words. You'll see how true that is and how valuable that is. Because when you're sick, you know, I also found out that those who are physically ill are the biggest and greatest hedonists in all the world, because all they want to do is feel good. All they want to do is not have pain, not have nausea, not have dizziness, not have confusion, you know. I mean, hedonists are people who go after feeling good in any and every way. And so, yeah, having been so ill here, I am a big-time hedonist, and I'm very much into hedonism, because all I really want to do is feel good. In fact, that's why I'm doing art here at the moment. I'm literally trying to get myself to at least emotionally and mentally feel better, because I am kind of getting bummed out from not feeling great. You know, it is very depressing. And I am so glad and so proud that not only did I film this video, but I finished this darn thing that I drew up for myself weeks ago, and I never did it. I never got it done. So yeah, that's it for this video. What happened? I actually ended up having to help my mom clean up and, you know, help her with her brand new easy chair and get everything in place and everything set up for her. And that ended up kind of causing a cascade in my health. And I finally got to the point where I wasn't totally in pain or stiff anymore, but I don't have the energy or the strength even really to get out of bed. And then finally, thankfully here, I've had the strength and the energy to get out of bed, but it leaves me quickly. It leaves me quickly. And, you know, being, by the way, when you end up having kidney disease, you get cut off of a lot of things. And so the only thing I've been able to have, you know, since I can't drink milk because I'm not milk tolerant, you know, I don't have the what it takes to be able to digest milk. I lost that from food poisoning that I got when I was 19. I'm still upset about that one, because I lost the ability to drink milk from drinking some of this curdled fake milk that my mom had. And yeah, she demanded that I drink it. I drank it, and I lost everything, and I was sick for a full week from that damn food poisoning. And I lost the ability to drink milk, and that was the only thing I was living off of at the time. But it also got me to lose weight too. Arguably, you could say that that's where my kidney problems started, but anyway, I've never heard of kidney problems starting with food poisoning. Yeah, so I helped my mom. It was a cascading problem. And now I'm finally at the point where I'm able to get out of bed. I'm able to actually sit here for a while, but I tire quickly. So I'm going to do what I can to do the art that I can. More than likely, I'm going to have to do shorts, you know, short videos. And yeah, that's it. Please watch whatever videos I end up uploading. Please. And that's all I have to say. So this is at least a 42-minute video. Sorry for it being so long. Hopefully I can cut it down by 10 minutes, but still, that's a long video. My brains are kind of just empty right now because I'm so dehydrated and I've been talking too much, and talking really takes the wetness out of my body and therefore out of my brain. So I'm fighting to be happy. I'm fighting dehydration and kidney disease. And the real question is, how in the world do you do what you want to do and get it done despite being chronically ill? You know, despite slowly dying is what it is. So I don't know. I will learn and I will figure it out, and hopefully I'll be able to, in my journey, show you all how you can, because everyone's going to become chronically ill and everyone's going to be at some point passing away. And so since I'm going to be one of the very first YouTubers to do it, I'll try to show you how. At least I can leave that as a legacy. And I will talk about, because this is inevitable, I will talk about finances, jobs, and being homeless and being in medical debt while I'm on this journey. So, and I will also talk about social items while I'm on this journey when it comes to being chronically ill and physically ill. So there you go. Bye for now, and thank you for stopping by and filling all of these in with me, because the way I had this written out, this was not working. So yeah, I'm glad that I did this. This needed to be done so badly, because the way I had it laid out, it was not working. You know, there were no words on this. This was a mess. So I'm glad I managed to straighten it out. Bye.